Hi comic book fans, and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video. So I'm going to do a more controversial video than usual. So last week I heard about and signed up to a comic festival called Thought Bubble, which is being held in God's own country in Yorkshire, and the main convention is in the Yorkshire spa town of Harrogate. It's a beautiful town. So I've bought tickets for that, and I'm going to go. And there's a really good range of comic book writers and illustrators and artists going to be attending the show. So really looking forward to it. However, I read on one of the forums I'm on this morning that one of the guests that had been invited, which was Frank Miller, they have cancelled his invitation because a number of people have complained because apparently, and I wasn't aware of this until I heard it today, he has published some stuff with some racist views or anti-Muslim views. So, do I think they were right to cancel their invitation to Frank Miller because of his views? Right. So I'm going to start out by making my opinions completely clear. I dislike discrimination of any kind. So, and to be honest, for somebody of my generation, I'm actually quite liberal. So, from a very early age, I've not liked discrimination against anybody for the colour of their skin, for their sexual orientation, or for their religious beliefs. I am a liberal with a capital L. I believe that people are entitled to their own beliefs, and as long as those beliefs and opinions don't infringe upon other people's freedoms, then they should be allowed to have those opinions, and they should not be discriminated against. So, you know, and that's been my opinion throughout my life, and I've got plenty of examples throughout my life, in my personal life and in my work life, which have exemplified that lack of discrimination. In fact, I believe that actually life is much more interesting with a variety of people, with a variety of views. I think London, for instance, is one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world, and it's better for it. I was not an advocate for a UK leaving the European Union. I'm a big believer that immigration is actually good for most countries. Immigrants coming in bring different cultures, different foods, which I'm always a big fan of. You know, and the sort of small Englander view that some of the people who wanted to leave Europe had just doesn't fit with me at all. However, that's their view. They're entitled to that view. So back to the Frank Miller thing. So my view on this is that people should be allowed to have their own opinions, and I also am of the view that they shouldn't be discriminated because of that. Look, just let me perhaps give an example. Let's assume let's have taken an imaginary situation which would be quite possible. Let's assume that we've got a gentleman who was born in 1921 and he's still alive, so he's 100 years old. Okay, and when the Second World War started, he'd have been 18, and let's say he joined the British Army to fight in the Second World War. And let's say he won a couple of medals for gallantry, for bravery in that war. Then he came back to England. He got married. He had a family. He worked hard and he provided for his family, and he was a loving and good father. His children then had families of their own, and as a grandfather he supported them. He was loving and caring, and now he's a great grandfather. Okay, and he's 100 years old today. However, he's a product of his time, and his opinions are the opinions and thoughts that he had and that were created in his formative years. So let's imagine he's got racist views. He's likely not going to approve of homosexuality, and he probably believes that a woman's place is in the home. Okay? So those are all views that today's society doesn't agree with, but they were the views that were around during his formative years. Now, let's imagine this gentleman is my great-grandfather, and my father is holding the Christmas dinner this year for the extended family, and he invites my great-grandfather. Right, should I say to my father, well, I'm sorry, I'm not coming to Christmas dinner this year because you're inviting my great-grandfather and he has racist views, and I don't agree with those, and unless you cancel your invitation to him, I'm not coming. So we are ignoring the fact that this gentleman fought in a world war, got medals for defending his country. We're ignoring the fact that he was a loving and supportive father. We're ignoring the fact that he was a loving and supportive grandfather. So all the good things that he's done, we're ignoring. Not only that, but we're not even prepared to engage in a conversation with the individual to understand why they have those views and have an intelligent debate about it. No, I think that is wrong. I'm sorry. I think that you can't ignore all the good work somebody has done because they have some opinions you disagree with. I think you should engage in debate. I think you should try and understand the other individual's views. So I went to Las Vegas a couple of years ago, and I got in a taxi with this guy, and he was ex-military. He was ex-US military, and we got talking about Trump, because in the UK, it's very difficult to find somebody who was a Trump supporter, myself included. And this guy was a huge supporter of Trump. So I disagreed with that. But did I say, oh, I'm sorry, I disagree with your views, stop the taxi, I need to get out? No. I engaged in a conversation with him. I wanted to understand, because I didn't, why so many Americans were supportive of Donald Trump. And we had a great conversation. This guy was really intelligent, very bright, and it was a great conversation, and it helped me to understand why a number of Americans supported Trump, which I hadn't previously. I didn't end up agreeing with him, but I did understand his views more by having a conversation. Okay? So I'm afraid that I do not think that Frank Miller his invitation should have been withdrawn from Thought Bubble. In a way, you can argue you are discriminating against that individual because of their views. Okay? As far as I am aware, Frank Miller is not a violent individual. I'm not aware he has ever been arrested for violence against anybody. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's allowed to have his views, and as long as he doesn't infringe other people's freedoms because of his views, like, I'm not a Muslim, but I don't, I don't have a problem with Muslims. I wouldn't not attend something if there were Muslims present. They're entitled to their views. They're entitled to their opinions. And as long as they don't infringe other people's freedoms, I have no problem with that. As far as I'm aware, Frank Miller is not infringing upon anybody else's freedoms. All the good work that has done is still there. It's still good work. You know, so no, I don't agree that Frank Miller should have been, his invitation should have been withdrawn. Okay, controversial video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anybody who is abusive, aggressive, please don't bother putting a response, because I'll just delete it. Okay, thanks very much.